What's going on, guys? We are here for, this is episode 5 of the prep series. This is going to be more of a day in the life, kind of what my day looks like through prep and as a coach, as a bodybuilder, everything that I do. I mean, it's kind of the same thing that everyone else does, but, maybe there's some exciting shit. So first thing is, it's early. So I get up about 5:30, then I obviously take a piss and everything, but then I get my water ready and I get ready for morning cardio. So when I say I get my water ready, I just buy a big case of the Essential waters. So they're 1 liter. And then I go ahead, I drink that real quick. And that will give me a boost in hydration before I go do my morning cardio. And then I refill it. I'll throw some electrolytes and shit in there. And then I'll go to cardio. But I'm going to get this down and I'll be back in a couple minutes. All right, so we got that down about 5 minutes total, and I refilled it. So that's how easy it is to be hydrated during the day. Just a quick start off with that, and then you just sip water the rest of the day. It's really not that complex. But now I throw some shit in my water for when I go and do my cardio. I just like to throw some aminos and hydration. So I got Silo 9 here from Hostile. If you're going to pick them up, use code Darian10. I like the tangy raspberry. So it's got a pretty solid amino profile, but then also just a little bit of sodium, potassium, magnesium to further my hydration, because I'm going to be sweating like a motherfucker when it comes down to cardio. So I fill this up, and then I take Motzi every morning. So 2 mgs of that. So I pin that after I have my water as well, because I find that it's just easier to throw the needle in after I have my water, so my skin's not dry and whatever. I'll throw the aminos and shit together, and then time to pick out an energy drink and shoot my peptides. Motzi is in. We picked out our energy drink. We've got the Orange Cream 3D, the Sam Sulek edition. That one's pretty fire. I think you can pick those up on Amazon or some shit. But that one's really good in the morning. And the reasoning behind the caffeine, immediately out of bed, there's 2 reasons. One, 200 milligrams of caffeine on an empty stomach. You'll get some energy from that. But the main idea is that in the mornings, right now, I'm very, very hungry. And I'm really looking forward to meal 1. But we're going to go do some fasted cardio. So in order to not make me a crazy person, I'm having a good bit of caffeine to blunt my appetite a little bit. So that's the method there. Same, honestly, with the liter of water. It fills up the stomach a little bit. Also makes me hydrated, but I do a lot to just be not hungry in the morning before I go do my cardio, because I wake up and I'm ready to eat. So I don't want to get all pissy, get all hangry or whatever at the gym and on my way there. So caffeine, water, fill up the stomach, and that way I'm not freaking out. But we're going to go drive to the gym and get ready for 40 minutes of stairs. All right, so we just got to the gym, just finished my drink and everything like that. There is also one more thing I do on the way to the gym in the car that I cannot put on YouTube. So, leave your guesses. I just felt I wanted to say cardio is probably the most important thing that you're not doing, whatever facet, whether you are, in a bulk, in a cut, whatever you're doing, cardio is probably a pretty big bottleneck in terms of progress. And the reason I say that is because there are so many benefits to it, right? Say you're in your off season, you're trying to eat a bunch of food. You'd be like, well, cardio is going to make it so I have to burn more calories. Sure. But when you also do cardio, say even in the morning, at night, just doing cardio, you're going to drive up your appetite. I'm telling you. I used to do my cardio first thing in the morning fasted, and it drove up my appetite for the rest of the day. Another benefit, obviously, is if you're enhanced, it's going to help out your cardiovascular health. And if you know anything about being enhanced, that's usually the number 1 risk. Now, if you're in a dieting phase, cutting, prepping for a show, whatever, cardio is a cornerstone. You're not going to get in good shape or lose weight very quickly without having cardio in place. Because, I guess theoretically you could, but you got to drop your food way down. And then what's the point, right? Your training's going to suck. Your sleep's going to suck. You're going to have no energy. Might as well just do a little bit of cardio, right? And then you can eat more food. That's really how that works. And then another great benefit is, you're improving your cardiovascular health, cardiovascular output. your training's going to get better. You're going to be able to push your sets harder. So, cardio makes you bigger, bro. And if you're not doing cardio, you're losing out on a lot of progress in whatever phase you're in. But with that out of the way, I'm going to go do my cardio. We got 40 minutes on the stairs. Then I always check the pump, check the physique in the morning. So we'll see how that's looking. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go hit cardio. So cardio is complete. Every morning I come in here because the gym I do my cardio at is not the gym that I train at. So the gym I do my cardio at has a nice posing room setup. So I come in here after my cardio. It gives me a decent look at myself because I've only had a little bit of water, no food. I had no real pump besides the quads. So it gives me a good accurate look. I'll practice my posing and shit in here. Maybe if I look sick, I'll throw it on Instagram or something. But typically just gives me a good idea of how we're pacing, making sure the look's still on. I don't notice anything weird. And of course I'm getting lean and still looking pretty big. But that's it. Let's take a look at the physique. Pretty good look this morning. The legs always look nuts after cardio. Always a spectacle. Because all the detail, that's where I do get a pump is in my quads. And all the detail gets moved out and all the lines, all the separation, the vascularity because I have a pump. And also my quads are pretty lean anyway, so really easy to tell. Even in my off season, I still have a good split all through the quads and everything like that. The only thing different is on the inside bit here of the teardrop, that's gotten a bit more diced and taken in as I've gotten leaner. So that's something that kind of goes away in my off season for sure. There's a separation between the adductors and the teardrop. But the rest of the physique is looking pretty good. Abs are coming in, shoulders, everything's still round, so. Yeah, very happy with this look. Back is looking good. It's usually what I do, just gotta go through the motions there of just posing, getting a good feel for my muscles. Also, for me, it's a mental thing, because if I'm going through any of these poses, and a certain muscle or something feels weird, that'll kind of keep me in in the back shots there. If something felt weird in my back, I'd be okay, we'll take a look at that because yesterday I trained back. And so sometimes if you hurt something in the gym, you're not going to know until the next day. So for me, it's also good. I can check on my back and see if there's anything all fucked up. Same with today's chest day. So if I was going through any of the chest poses, flexing my chest or even into the shoulders or anything like that, if there's anything that felt off or weird, tight or something like that, that'll tell me later in the day. So I don't just go straight into chest or whatever. I do a little bit of extra warming up, stretching, kind of massage the area, open it up a little bit before I go into training. Now, I would say that's pretty rare. Doesn't happen a lot, but in the off chance it does, could save me from an injury. So that's another reason I come in here. And also because I'm starting to look sick, so I like to see really how sick I'm looking. But that's what I do. I'm gonna practice my mandatories. Those will not be on YouTube because those are still a work in progress. Everything else is good for Instagram and shit, but my mandatories, that's my weakest link right there, but we're working on them. We got a posing coach, practicing in the mornings. We're working on it, so we won't be lacking on stage. All right, and we are back from cardio. It's time to prep my meal one. The one meal that I actually cook myself during the day, mainly just because it's eggs. Meal prepping those or getting those, that's weird. So this is the one meal I cook. Everything else is from MegaFit. I get my coffee ready, and then the breakfast is 4 eggs, 60 grams of oats, 100 grams of blueberries. And then I do have a little bit of spinach in my eggs, kind of like a little omelet. That's the one deviation from the plan, but it is cleared with the coach, at least until 8 weeks out, and then we're pulling it. So I get to enjoy it for a little bit longer. But yeah, that's really all I do in the next 15 minutes is just make my breakfast, get ready to eat, and then it's time to work. So I'm now at my desk. This is where I eat meal one, and honestly, a lot of my meals. But specifically, meal one I have here, and this is the time that I use to respond to client messages while I'm eating. Because if I have to make any sort of Loom videos for clients, or like on a check-in day or something like that, I always eat first, so I'm not like taking forever to eat my meal, and then also so I'm not like chewing or have like food in my mouth when I'm doing a video, because I think that's just silly. I like to appear professional and presentable as much as I am just, a retarded bodybuilder. I don't want to be like eating while I'm recording. Yeah, I use this time. I respond to clients, make sure everyone's good to go. Typically, there's a good amount of client messages, and I do like to get some knocked out at the gym, but this is the follow-up time. Like if I send a few messages at the gym, driving home, making breakfast, they probably responded, or there's some new messages. Now, after that, once meal one's wrapped up, then I continue to work. This is when I would make all of the videos that I have to make for clients. So whether it's, check-in or a Loom video, going over blood work or whatever it might be, I do that after my meal is done. And then usually, depending on what day of the week it is, Sundays and Mondays are my big check-in days, so those I'm pretty much glued to my desk. But now, where I have a little bit more freedom later in the week, I like to spread out my steps more evenly instead of having to get a giant walk-in at the end of the day. So after meal one and I finish up a little bit of work, I usually either have to go to the grocery store. I don't think I have to today. I'll have to check my cabinets and stuff, but if not, then I usually go for a walk and just get some nice steps in while it's still fairly cool out. But for now, I'm simply just going to work and eat my meal, and catch you guys in a bit. The next thing I do, I take my morning subs, and these are really important. Fasted, I forgot to show them earlier, but I take citrus bergamot and arterial protect. I take those every morning fasted. And then these are the vitamins for my meal one. So I take vitamin D3, I take the Axe and Sledge heart and liver and multi. I also take red yeast rice, fish oil, vitamin K, and then I also take methylene blue, 25 mgs every morning, vitamin C, and that is actually it. Not a whole lot of supplements. And there are some other supplements that I take, the injectable type anyway. So the cycle's still the same. It's still 490 test, 490 mast, and 70 tren a week. 6 IUs of growth every night. And that is the cycle. Very basic. Yeah, we're keeping it simple here. We don't need to drive anything crazy. Eventually, we'll probably get a little crazy, but for now, we're killing it. We're getting leaner honestly, every single day. So we don't need to really accelerate anything. No need for the fat burners. It's a little early for that. And if we're going to up any drugs, we want to wait a little leaner, maybe get some extra cosmetic from like Tren or something like that. And then later in the prep, you throw in the orals and whatever. But for now, very simple cycle. Yes, it's still over a gram. So you can say, it's a blast, but it's not that crazy. So that's what I take every morning to keep me running my best, I guess you could say. And now I'm outside. I'm about to go get some steps in. My watch was dead for part of the morning, so that didn't really help my step count for the day. But it's already nice and warm out. Sun's out, so it also helps give me a little bit of a tan, which makes my physique look better. So I won't complain about that. Gonna go bang out a little bit of steps, a couple thousand. Like I said, I like to break it up during the day if possible, like on my less busy days. And this is just one of the ways to do it. And I think outdoor steps, honestly, are awesome. Like you just get out, fresh air, sun. It makes you feel a lot better. You sweat a little bit. It's great. It's better than just sitting inside AC treadmill. Like that's comfortable, but that's boring. And I think you're missing out on some benefits of just being outside. So time to get some steps in. And so now I'm back from my steps. I did about 4,000, which is not a whole lot, but it's about a third of my steps for the day, which is pretty good. It clears out some progress for the day. That way I don't have to take crazy walks. But now I honestly have nothing to do. I kind of just chill out until my next meal, which is in about an hour. So pick up around the house, watch YouTube mainly, big YouTube guy, or maybe I'll watch a show if I have a show going on, which currently I got nothing. So it's YouTube, and then just obviously responding to clients' messages as I get them throughout the day. But that's really it. I don't do a whole lot. And it's about 10 a.m. now, so it's time for meal 2. Nothing glorious here, except we've got 100 grams of green beans and also 110 grams of chicken breast, because we also have a yogurt. So some of the protein that I would typically get in my meal here, now coming from yogurt. Yogurt's delicious. It's like a nice treat for myself, but also it's a great source of protein. And there's There's some benefits in terms of gut health from the yogurt, but mainly it's in here because it tastes delicious. And it's a nice little mix up, different sorts of protein. Good deal there. Very basic meal. It's kind of what my day consists of. I kind of wait around for the next meal all the way up until the gym. So like I eat this and then just kind of chilling, not doing a whole lot. I just kind of keep tabs on clients, watch some TV, eat my food, and then we wait around for our third meal, and then I'll go to the gym after that. But my whole day basically just consists of me preparing for the gym, and then after that, it consists of me preparing for the next day. It's kind of how it goes. Eating and getting everything ready for the following day. That's it. I'm going to go eat meal 2 now, and yeah, I'll probably be back. If there's something that I do in between meal 2 and 3, I'll be back with that. If not, then I'll be back for my pre-workout meal here in a little bit. And we are back. I didn't do anything in between meals 2 and 3. I kind of sat on my couch a little bit, texted some clients. I watched some YouTube. There's a new episode of Bro Chat out, so I watched that. That's Fuad Abiad's podcast. It's some pretty cool people on there today, namely Joe Palacios. I like listening to him talk. I mean, obviously he has a name for himself, but he definitely has something to prove. So I just like hearing about him talk and kind of hype himself up, and going into the battle with Nick. It's going to be exciting. So I like staying tuned with that shit. Now it's time for meal 3. This is my pre-workout meal. So honestly, breakfast used to be my favorite, but this is slowly gaining because recently I've just been on a kick of this bowl of gains from the Flavor Gang. The peanut butter cookie flavor, cream rice. That shit is fire. It's so good. Yeah, it's like my favorite shit. So I look forward to it. But 110 grams of that comes out to like 83 grams of carbs or something like that. And then I also have a protein shake as well. A protein that I've been rocking with, actually, funny enough, is not hostile, but the milk and cookies from Raw, the Sebum line there, that shit's pretty fire too. Also, quick tip is when you are making your protein shakes, weigh them out. Weigh out your whey. Because when you take your shaker and let's just say you eyeball 2 scoops, you're probably going to be off by a little bit, right? Like I noticed, if I just did 2 flattened out scoops, I'm not actually getting the amount that you're supposed to get. Like if you look at the back of your protein tub, like for this one, for example, 1 scoop is supposed to be 36 grams. Now I can take out a bunch of scoops. If they're like full and I kind of scrape them at the top, I'm not getting 36 grams. I'm probably getting like between 30 and 33 is usually what I find. So making sure that you weigh it out, you're going to get the accurate amount of protein. And it's just little things like that that add up over time that I think really make a difference. I just kind of want to provide a little bit of detail or clarification on what I mean by, measuring out your whey. So when you take a scoop, right, this is your standard scooper from the protein. I'm going to get it pretty full. And then typically people kind of scrape it out at the top, right? Like that's a very full scoop of protein. My scale is zeroed out. I'm going to dump it in there. And I got exactly 30 grams, 30.0. And the scoop is supposed to be 36 grams in order to get the full 25 grams of protein. So if I were to do that again, I'm only getting 60, which means I'm missing out on 12 grams of the powder. And I mean, that's not a significant amount, but that's a third. Actually, that is a pretty good amount. That's like 8.5 grams of protein. Forgive my microwave. But that's like 8.5 grams of protein. And, 8.5 grams of protein is not that drastic in one day, but over the course of a lot of days, that's a lot of protein. So make sure you're weighing out your whey. You're going to get a little bit more protein, and I think it's worth it. It doesn't take that long. So along with measuring everything else out, make sure you're getting the right amount of protein, especially if you have like a meal on the go and you're supposed to get like a certain amount of protein for that meal. Just make sure you measure it out a little bit so you're good to go. But I'm going to make this meal, eat it, and then I actually will take a quick walk after this. I'm going to use my treadmill for this one because it's just a quick digestion walk. Nothing crazy. Just hop on the treadmill and continue to watch a little bit more YouTube. All right, so we finished up the post-meal digestion walk. And then we just kind of chilled out for a little bit, let the food kind of digest and chill. And then now it's time to make my pre-workout and my intro workout. They're very simple right now. In my off season, they get a little bit crazier with like carbs and shit like that. But right now they're very, very simple. Not a lot of additives. So for the pre-workout today, we're rocking Hostility V2. This is the Raging Red Gummy flavor. This is one of my favorite pre-workouts, honestly. It's early enough where I don't mind like the 200 mgs of caffeine. It doesn't really impact my sleep at all. If I were to train later, like I used to train later in the evening around like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I would then take a non-stim. And then I do take a non-stim on leg day as well, because I find that even that little bit of caffeine kind of slows that recovery and the catching of my breath and the slowing of the heart rate in between sets, specifically on leg day. Not as much on other days, but pretty significantly on leg day. So I like to be able to recover quickly, get that heart rate down, catch my breath in between sets. Caffeine, specifically on leg day, inhibits that. But on like today we got chest day, which I'm pretty hyped for. It's not going to really do that. It's not going to bother my workout at all. One thing they don't include in there, in that formula, even though it's fantastic, is there's no beta-alanine. So I make sure to get some beta-alanine in there. I do 2 scoops of this. I think one scoop is 3.2 grams. So I think 3.2 grams is like your typical serving. I just do 2 of them. And that is actually my pre-workout. That's all I put in. Oh, wrong. Actually, I throw some salt in there. I just have some Himalayan pink salt, a big ass thing I bought from Sam's. I throw like a pinch in my pre-workout, and then I also throw a pinch in my intra as well, just to, get a little bit extra like pump help. Nothing crazy. It's probably about, I don't know, half a gram in each, maybe a little under. Necessarily measure it for this one because I'm about to go sweat crazy. So kind of evens out. And then for my intra, I typically just rock some aminos. So gotta pick a flavor here. I don't know what to go with. All right. We're gonna go with the Silo 9 aminos. This is the grape flavor. This is like my second favorite flavor. I typically go with the tangy raspberry like I did this morning, but that was the last little bit of that. So if I want more of that, I gotta order it. So we're just gonna rip into the grape here. But I do 1 scoop of the Silo 9. It's aminos with like I said, a little bit of sodium, potassium, and magnesium just to round out the electrolytes. And I do funnel it because I don't have like an intra thing, so I literally just have like a water bottle that I put shit in. And then also in there, I do creatine. I do 10 grams in here, and then I also did, I forgot to mention, I did 10 grams in my pre-workout meal shake. So 20 grams on the day, kind of putting a bunch around training. I don't really have a good reason as to why I do that, honestly. And then there's one more thing I add. I just reorganized my supplement cabinet, so I don't know where everything is again. But it's going to be glutamine. I put glutamine in the intra workout as well, and that's kind of it. Very simple. Like I said, if it were my off season, you're probably looking at like a scoop of carbs or maybe 2 scoops of carbs. And then in the pre would be like some glycerol, and maybe also carbs in there. I don't know. But typically the off season is super carb heavy versus right now is just very, very bare bones, just making sure that all of like the regular like ingredients, like the pump ingredients and shit like that are in there. Making sure I have all the necessities. With that out of the way, we're going to go get in the car, get ready to go to the gym, hit a sick ass lift now that we have our pre and intra ready to go. All right, so we're at the gym, and as I was driving here, my day started getting better, and the reason for that is it started raining. Now, my car was covered in like pollen and bullshit, so now it's nice, it's gonna be nice and clean, but 2, I love a good rainy day. As much as I like the sunshine and the heat and whatever, a nice rainy day is always preferred. I'm a big rain guy. I'm not sure why, just always have been. So it started raining on the way here. Very excited, makes me feel good. But other than that, now it's kind of a little bit of a gym car time. Yeah, like car time, I guess you could say. I kind of sit in the car for about 5-10-ish minutes, just putting myself in a good like mental spot for training, you know, clearing my head. The only thing on my mind is like the session that I'm about to go hit. So today I've got push. I'm trying out a new split. I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. It's the middle of the week and I was like, let's do a new split. So that's what we're doing. But it is what it is. I needed to spice up my training. So I have trying something new out with it. I'm pretty excited to hit this one. Yeah, I spend about 5-10 minutes just kind of mentally putting myself in the right spot to go execute and train hard as fuck and get a nasty ass pump. Because honestly, that's what my day prepares for. Every minute leading up to this basically is just getting me ready for training. And then after training, it's just gotta recover, refill, and get ready for tomorrow. Because that's like the pinnacle of my day. That's the biggest moment of my day is training. Because what else is there, right? Just go in, train hard as fuck, get huge, sick ass pump, it's all worth it. Then go home, eat, do it all again tomorrow. I can't ask for anything better than having a physique that I'm proud of, and just like putting in the work every day. It makes me happy, makes me feel good. Now other things that make me feel good are probably the steroids, but you know, it's mostly the training and just seeing the results in the mirror every single day. And yeah, chasing the pump. That's what makes me feel good. So we're gonna go get after it. This is off topic, but this is a bit too much rain for me. It's like fucking pouring. It was like a cool rain before, and now I think I'm gonna get like washed away walking into the gym. This is not cool. I guess beggars can't be choosers, but this is way too much. Anyways, I'll catch y'all in the gym for push and kind of give you a breakdown of my new push day. All right, so we have our first movement, and unfortunately, tragedy has struck today. I forgot my headphones, and I don't know, it's fine right now, but it's piss. It's horrible. So we gotta lock in here. First movement is gonna be the seated cable fly that I've been rocking with. I think this is gonna be a staple in my push days or chest days or whatever. Whenever I'm training chest, this is in. This just felt so good for me. I've had such a great connection with it. I think it's been a driving factor in the way that my chest looks. So I'm going to continue with it, fit in, and yeah, we'll get into it. And that's a wrap. That was good. I think, honestly, I'm going to go up another 10 pounds, but that's a staple chest day movement for me now. It wasn't for a while. I recently moved that in, but now it's just in every chest, basically. But now, this new push day, so we have this seated cable fly here on the second set. So the set coming up. That's an intensifier here. It's kind of an unconventional one. Instead of just kind of continuing to do flies, I'm actually going to turn it into a press. So that way, some of the triceps front delts are kind of coming in, but I'm getting a little bit more chest from it. Just another way to intensify it. So I could do like a rest pause, basically. I don't know. For these, it's kind of a whack setup. I would just prefer this to go kind of basically into a press. Then after that, we got machine lateral raise. Then after that, some Smith incline. Now, I think that Smith incline is probably that's a top 3 movement for chest. Then it's dumbbell press. I do something a little different with dumbbell press. It's going to be a flat press, but I do something a little different for that. Then a cable lateral raise, single arm. Then I've got a rope tricep push down into another fly. This is a pec deck fly, so it's it's slightly different. But I may swap that out for a different machine press. I'm not sure yet. And then overhead extension machine just to finish out triceps. But yeah, I might swap that pec deck out for another flat press of sorts. We'll see. I've been really digging pressing recently as opposed to just spamming flies. I did that for a while. I was doing a bunch of flies, but I really enjoy pressing and the connection it gives me and the feeling I get from the pressing. So I may end up just going back to majority pressing. But for now, we'll finish this up. And I'll show you what I mean with the different style of intensifier. And that's what I mean. It's kind of at the end, it's kind of going into almost like a converging press. I get a lot more oomph out of my chest just by allowing my triceps to do a little bit of work. And today's a full push day. Well, we're doing chest, triceps, and shoulders. So honestly, a little bit of carryover to the triceps. Not gonna be upset about. That's a wrap for this movement. Lateral raise time. So next movement, lateral raises. I've been doing single arm on this, but I'm gonna do single arm on the cable later. So I'm doing double arm here. I like this machine a lot. There is another one right next to it. That one's kind of shit and it's too light. We'll do 3 sets and then rest pause on that 3rd set to really squeeze the rest out. That felt really good. Whoa. That was a really good set of laterals. I'm glad double arm's back for this, for sure. Big fan of the double arm. Set 3. This one's gonna be a rest pause at the end. So I'm getting the absolute most out of my delts in this movement. I don't wanna leave anything on the table coming out of this movement. Gotta have giant fucking delts. So we're keeping the same weight that I had in the first 2 sets. I don't think I'm getting double-digit reps here, but if I do, it doesn't matter. We're still doing a rest pause. Trying to get like 15 total. So we might have to rest twice, but we'll get like 15 total. So unfortunately that actually cut off because my camera was full. So I wasn't paying attention. That's my bad. We only got a total of 13 reps. I did technically like 2 rest pause sets. It was like 8, 3, and 2 is what I got. I didn't drop the weight or anything like that, but unfortunately, because that was a badass set, I just so happen to be really bad at this whole recording thing. So that is what it is. But that's done. Now we're into the Smith incline. I'm a big fan of the Smith incline. However, I'm not a big fan of this specific Smith machine. It just doesn't feel very machine-like. So that kind of sucks, but it's still, a Smith machine nonetheless. And it's still going to do what I want it to do when it comes to, being like a nice incline machine. Because the Arsenal incline that is here is fine. It's usable, right? I don't get the best connection with it. I feel like it's pressing a lot more for my triceps and front delts than it is the actual upper pec. And that's why I really like the Smith machine. I feel like I get more pec out of it than anything else, especially because I can take a nice false grip with it and really just drive through that pec. So we'll see how everything's moving. All right, time to see how 2 plates moves. Should be butter. But you also see potentially in this why it doesn't feel so Smith machine-like. I don't know if you caught it there, but it's very not stable, if that makes sense. The sliding bits, each side, and then an inch or 2 of each other can kind of move independently. And so the bar will come out uneven, and it doesn't when you unrack it, a lot of regular Smith machines have a stopping point. You just kind of flick it forward and back. This one, it's a pretty significant flick forward for it to stop, very significant. So
Kind of sucks in that aspect, but yeah, it's not the best smithing machine. It gets the job done though. 2 plates felt pretty good. We'll go 2 1/4 here. And that, I mean, that'll really determine. We'll either take that for a set or a couple sets, or we'll jump to 3 plates. 3 plates seems a little iffy, but we'll see what happens. I'm hoping 3 plates flies because that's kind of what that's what I'm aiming for. That's what I had in my head coming in here. So I'm gonna do a rep. If it feels like I could go up to 315 and do a reasonable set, then I'll stop it. If it doesn't feel like I can go up to 315 and do a reasonable set, then I'm just gonna take this for a ride. So we'll see what happens. We got humbled pretty quick. We'll still take it. Hoping to make this set better. This one's definitely going to be a rest pause for sure, just to really get the most out of it. I feel like that's the best way. But time to rip into this set. Should be a good one. I adjusted the seat a little bit, so this second set should be better. Well, this rest pause would be something. I'm gonna strip it, re-rack it, and get set up again, but fuck. A little bit shorter, but fuck it. I'm ready. Alright. Bit of an underwhelming rest pause there, but I'll take it. Whatever. Not getting any more out of it, so it's good enough. Alright, so small change of plans here. I was gonna do dumbbell flat, but I did 2 reps of that, and it honestly didn't feel that great. So we're here on the flat, like converging chest press. This machine feels really great. And another cool thing is like, I'm starting a new split, so trying to figure out like things are in slightly different orders. So body parts are fatiguing different rates. So I have to like bring weights up and down somewhat. So like here, I could typically do 3. I'm gonna do 2. Now some of it, I do have a small reduction in overall just output. Like I don't have a ton of carbs in, but I have enough to get like good lift in. But definitely like a small drop off in performance. I've also lost a good amount of weight. Like peak bulk, we're like 245. I'm definitely around like the upper 220s right now. So that contributes as well to me just overall moving a slightly less load. But that doesn't really matter, honestly. Like the weight that you move, honestly doesn't matter. You know, if I'm taking my muscle to the absolute failure, whether it's 1 plate, 2 plate, or fucking 7 plates, as long as I'm bringing my muscle to that point of just nothing is left, the tank is empty, then that's all that really matters. And I'm getting a good connection. I'm feeling it. Who cares? But let's get into the set. Let's get after it. Good set there. Chest is feeling very, very full. Had a very good connection with that. That was significantly better than when I did the dumbbell. So my other chest movement later will be pec deck. This new day is already messing with me. Second set here. This one might just actually be a straight set. We'll see. Depends on how I'm feeling. This one's going to be a rest pause. I think that was like 9 or something. Definitely want more than that. So rest pause about 15, 20 seconds-ish. The whole idea is just to catch your breath, kind of chill real quick, and then get back into it. The world's sweetest machine is complete. Next movement is the cable lateral raise. We're doing single arm here. The idea is just kind of a different stimulus, different feel to it. Yeah, this one you definitely don't want to go super, super heavy with because it's just not a movement to go very heavy with. You go about like hip height, maybe a little lower. Grab a hold of it and just do a fucking lateral raise. A lot of focus there on the side though. This time, like, I don't know, you just get a good feeling with it. It's a good feeling movement. I like it. There's definitely a good like difference between the that machine and this one. They're just different enough. I like to incorporate both. Like sometimes I'll have a dumbbell in a machine, or you know, in this case it's machine. But I like 2 different variations usually. Just give them a different setup, different sensation.
Yeah, you know it.
Bang. All right, so that's a wrap for push day. Honestly, I kind of like it. Like I said, it's kind of the setup of the new split. So just getting a feel for everything, kind of seeing where my weights would be at. I was a little disappointed with the incline Smith. I haven't done Smith in a while though, so other than that, I'm very impressed with how everything went. I like the pump that I got from today, and so let's check it out. Yeah, I'm very much so impressed with this pump. Very impressed with this look. It's coming along very nicely, very vascular. So very full, round and bubbly, especially up in the delts. So good pump there. Just gonna wait for this loss. Just really bring in the midsection here. Everything else is coming along very nicely. Tighten up good. We're progressing nicely, kind of ahead of schedule. So we don't have to dig crazy hard, but big fan of this look. I think we'll be bringing a very nice package to the stage. So keep watching and stay tuned for that look, but progressing by the day. All right, and we are back home from the gym now. We have a nice surprise waiting for us. When we got back, I got MegaFit delivered. So always a good day when that happens. My normal chicken and beef order here. I get like
12 packs of chicken, 4 packs of beef, or something like that. And they're like 15-ounce packs. That's what I order just about every week. It's a little bit more expensive than the grocery store, but I then don't have to go to the grocery store. I don't have to cook. I don't have to do any of that. So for me, it's worth it. Spend a little extra money, like I say, just to save that time. It's worth it. That was a nice little surprise. Next up on the list is make my post-workout meal. 160 grams of chicken, 300 grams of rice, but I may do cream rice, not gonna lie. And then also 120 grams of pineapple. And that's my post-workout meal. Now that we have our post-workout meal, it's time to sit down, check over some client messages, because while I'm at the gym, people are obviously texting me, messaging me. So I like to keep tabs on my clients, make sure that they have everything that they need to succeed and that they are, all their questions are answered, everything like that. So similar to meal one, here I'm just kind of sitting, eating, messaging guys back and forth. That's really it. I do have a couple of onboarding calls later this evening. Typically, there's a lot of clients coming in. It's usually 2 per day. And after this pre-workout meal and some messaging, just kind of gonna go on a walk again. This one's a bit of a more special walk because now we don't need a nice clear mind for training. So, we add a little extra enjoyment to the walk, if you will. I don't know what I can talk about on YouTube or show on YouTube. If I can show it, I'll show it. But that's it. I'm gonna message some guys, eat my food. I'll be back right around when I take a walk. All right, and we're outside. We're about to go hit some steps. There's a little bit of rain coming down, but that didn't really bother me. Honestly, if I can avoid it, I don't really use the treadmill inside. I really like being outside. It makes me feel good. And also, there's an extra practice I do when I take walks outside that I can't do in my house, or I choose not to do in my house, basically. I don't know if I can show it on YouTube. If I can, you'll see it. If not, you won't see it. But, yeah. All right, and we are back from the walk, and then come back here, just kind of chill. I have 2 more meals to get in, so for a total of 6 meals per day. In between meals is nothing exciting, especially as the night goes on. Like at a certain point, I just kind of stop working, basically. Usually around like, I'd say 7 or 8 p.m. is when my cutoff usually is, and then it just gets to like personal time. Obviously, I have a lot of personal time during the day, but that's what I'm really just kind of checked out, winding down, getting a couple things set up for the next morning and getting ready for bed. I'm go to bed pretty early, about 9 o'clock, 9:30, and so I can get up at 5:30 for cardio. But the evening hours are by far the most like boring of the day. It's like, because that's after everything's already done. So I just kind of wait around to get my meals in. If I didn't have meals to get in, I'd definitely go to bed earlier. But I'd stay up so I can get my meals in. And then, yeah, I just kind of chill, go to bed, and do it all over again tomorrow. As boring as it seems, or it may look, this is what gets results, honestly. You can obviously have more exciting days than this and still get results for sure. But for me, it works. It makes me happy. I look forward to every day, especially on the ones where I train. On days where I don't train, I have rest days. Those kind of suck. But on training days, they're very exciting. Look forward to them. And yeah, that's about it. Very simple day. That's what every day looks like, apart from check-in days. If you're looking to get jacked, make your days look like that. But that is all. So comment what you want to see in future videos. I will have a video coming out next week that will have cycle updates. So stay tuned for that. Things are going to start getting pretty real here pretty soon in terms of prep. So definitely wait around for that. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.